All right, guys, welcome to the LinkedIn security session. Today, we're going to be talking about a variety of different things that LinkedIn provides to us to protect our LinkedIn account. One thing to note is that LinkedIn doesn't appear to have any location services set up for iOS, Android devices. I haven't seen anything or regular web browser set up. That's a good thing because that means we don't have to turn it off. But we are going to be talking about password policy and password security, proper passwords. We're going to be talking about um, setting up a phone number so that you can reset your password. We're going to talk about syncing of calendars and contacts and turning that off. We're going to look at where you're signed in. We're going to take a look at permitted services that have access to your LinkedIn account. We're going to be talking about blocking people. We're going to be talking about two-step verification, also known as two-factor authentication. Let's get this stuff set up. Let's get our business profile secured properly so that we know what's going on and utilize these best case features that LinkedIn gives us, right? We want to utilize this, the abilities that the service has, and as time goes on, these services add more into them. So make sure you're taking a look back, right, into those settings to see if anything else pops up, right? But let's get this stuff taken care of and let's get you secured up and get going. All right, guys, so I'm on my iPhone 10. This can be done on an Android device or a web browser. Whatever way you access LinkedIn, you should be able to get to the settings that I'm talking about today. So I'm going to click on the LinkedIn app. Within my profile, I'm going to want to click on the gear. Mine happens to be in the upper right hand corner of the screen. Within the account settings, I'm going to verify my email addresses. So I want to make sure those email addresses are correct and that there's no extra ones in there that I shouldn't have. Once I've done that, I'm going to look at phone numbers because you need to make sure that you have a phone number set up. One thing is when you set up two-factor authentication, you need a phone number set up. The other thing is that it's a really handy way to reset your password if you have problems, right? So we're going to click add phone number. Enter in a password to your account. I just have to remember what it is offhand real quick. I think this is it. Boom, come on. Yay, yay. Alright, I grabbed the code from my phone. Alright, and we are set. Use for password resetting is selected. Perfect. So let's go back. Boom. And we are going to go down to change password. We're going to talk about passwords. Passwords need to be complex passwords. They need to be different than the passwords that you use on your other social media sites. So, for instance, you want to make a long password that's complex using capital letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. And you're going to want to make sure that it's something easy to remember so that you don't have to write it down somewhere, or it is the new age of password managers. So really it's not a bad idea to get yourself a password manager. I really love using 1Password. It's awesome, and it syncs across all my devices and I have everything everywhere. So utilize some sort of a password like I love the beach, right? And then obfuscate it by adding in some swapped out characters. Like for I's, use ones. For O's, use zeros. For S's, use dollar signs. For A's, use @ symbols. This is kind of a known methodology of obfuscating your password, but it's still good. Just make sure that it's long, and you know, try to keep it as complex as you can, and as easy to remember as possible. All right. And if you haven't updated your password in a while, you should do that now. And let's make sure that require all devices to sign in with new password. What this will do when you change your password right now, if you don't have that checked, those other devices are just going to be able to stay logged in to your account with the old password. But if you have that selected, it's going to log all those other sessions out, right? And they'll need the new password, which is great in the event your account got compromised and somebody was logged into it. It would kick them out, and they wouldn't have the new password. But we're going to take that a step further by enabling two-factor authentication. Let's go back into the account settings. And the next one that I want to talk about is sync contacts and sync calendar. Let's click on sync contacts. We're going to want to make sure that this is off. Make sure, and I should say if this is something you do want off. I personally don't like having my contacts stored up on LinkedIn servers, so I'm not going to store mine up there. This is up to you if you want to check this or not. I preferably don't want them up there. So I'm going to go back, and the same thing for sync calendar. I'm going to make sure that it is off, because I don't want my calendar to be stored up on LinkedIn servers. Let's go back, and we're going to talk about permitted services. If we scroll down a little bit, permitted services are services that you've granted access to your LinkedIn profile and network data. If you want that to happen, fine, but understand that they have access to all your data within your LinkedIn profile. So currently I have the LinkedIn Developer Network. If I didn't want that to be in there, I could click the X. I'm okay with that one being in there. And this is up to you, but this is where you're going to see whether different services have access to your account. Let's go back to account settings, and we're going to click on where you're signed in. Scroll down. This is going to be a great area for you to see where people are signed into your account, right? So I've currently got 3 sessions, which is making me wonder if these are okay. So let's see if I need to kill one of these sessions. Well, I know that I'm on my iPhone, so this iOS on LinkedIn, that's me, right? And that shows up at the top. That's the current session, right? Other active sessions are these 2 down here. Well, I've got Safari on Mac OS X down at the bottom, and then I've got another one that it's not really picking up, right? I've got this other IP address that's not telling me much information on the one that's higher up. I'm going to end this session down on the bottom. So I enter in my password. Boom. Killed the session, right? Want to make sure you're cleaning up those sessions and that nobody is in your account that shouldn't be. Alright guys, if you want to get the rest of the course, the Social Media Security 101, and see the rest of that LinkedIn session, head on over, click the link below. There's an awesome coupon to get the course for cheaper. I think it's like 90% off, so you can't really beat that. Get yourself protected. Click that link, and y'all have an awesome day. Take care.